That's okay.
Sorry.
All rise for the jury.
Okay, you may be seated. And who is your next witness, Mr. Newman?
Yes, Deputy Burke calling Lieutenant Brian Monroe.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Have a seat. You're under oath. Please state and spell your name for us.
My name is Brandon Roy. Spelling the first name is Brandon. Spelling the last name is Roy.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, how are you employed?
I am a lieutenant with the City of Warren Police Department.
Okay. How long have you been a lieutenant, sir?
Just over a year. I was promoted in February of 2025.
Okay. And as a lieutenant with the City of Warren Police Department, are you assigned to a specific responsibility or duty?
I am. I am the Innovation and Technology Lieutenant for the city.
Okay. Innovation and Technology Lieutenant.
Yes.
Okay. And as the Innovation and Technology Lieutenant, what are your job responsibilities?
My responsibility is to maintain the technology projects that we have inside the building and also to seek out new and innovative technology that helps us achieve our mission.
All right. And Lieutenant Roy, so as the lieutenant over innovation and tech, are you responsible for, I guess, all of the tech in terms of overseeing the in-car camera systems, the body-worn camera systems, and things of that nature?
Yes.
Okay. And would that also include overseeing the flock camera system that the department uses?
Yes.
All right. I want to start with the flock camera system. What is the flock camera system exactly?
Flock is a broader company that has public safety technology. Our relationship with Flock is for their static mounted license plate reader cameras. We have a network of them throughout the city. They are standalone cameras that are powered by solar, batteries on a solar pole, and then they are attached to a camera that has a cell modem in it that takes pictures of license plates and vehicles.
All right. So those cameras, are they stationary cameras?
They are.
Okay. Do they rotate or move or anything, or are they just one direction and that's it?
They are fixed. They face one direction.
Okay. All right. And so are you familiar with where all of these flock cameras are located throughout the city?
Yes,
as
I
the
am.
lieutenant?
Yes, I am.
All right. In this particular case involving Officer Burke, did you become involved in this case just by way of being the technology officer or
Yes.
lieutenant?
Yes, correct.
All right. And are you familiar with the flock notices that were received with regards to this particular case?
I'm aware that there were Flock alerts received. I'm not super familiar with all the nuances of that case.
Specifics of the content of them and
Correct.
things? Okay. All right. And so I want to talk a little bit just so that it's clear when these are these cameras, do they operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week?
Yes.
Okay, so they're constantly taking photographs of every vehicle that goes by?
Correct.
Okay. Are there situations where a vehicle can drive by but they won't be detected by the flock camera?
Yes.
And what type of situations are those?
Early on in our adoption of Flock, we had issues with batteries in the winter months when we didn't get a lot of sunlight and it got really cold. The batteries would die. Also, in some instances, like a vehicle being obstructed going by a Flock safety camera, it may not capture. So think of like a vehicle next to a semi-truck where the semi-truck passes by and it can't see the vehicle on the other side.
Right. Okay. The camera can only take a picture of what it can see, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And so when a flock camera takes a picture of a license plate, can you describe for us technology-wise what happens?
Sure. So it's taking a picture of the whole vehicle, whether or not there's a license plate on it or not. With Flock, the reason why we went with them as a vendor is they also do something called vehicle ID, where it can predict the make and specific characteristics of a vehicle, so we can work backwards to a plate if we had to. If we don't know a plate, we can search a vehicle description opposed to just a plate. If there is a plate on the vehicle, it takes a image of the plate, it predicts the plate state, and then it runs that plate number against a database of known vehicles that it would alert to.
All right. And so this is all a computer that processes all this information, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so when a plate is a picture is taken, if a certain license plate comes back to a stolen vehicle, how long does it take for that information to be relayed? And, well, let me ask you, where does that information get relayed to initially?
So Flock is a web-based platform for us. We access it through a web browser or a mobile app on their city-issued cell phone. Once that alert is identified, it can be delivered to anybody that's logged into the instance, generally about 3 to 10 seconds.
Okay. And after an alert is found through the computer system, it automatically goes out to all the computers, and anyone who's logged in would get some sort of notification of that?
Anyone who's logged in with the specific alert reasons enabled and the cameras enabled. So each
When you
user,
say alert reasons, what do you mean?
Sure. So with Flock Safety, the individual officer can choose which cameras they're receiving alerts from and also what alerting reasons they are receiving. In most cases, it is for NCIC listed vehicles, which is a national law enforcement database where you would see things like stolen vehicles, extradition warrants, things of that nature. So the majority of our Flock alerts are off of NCIC wanted vehicles, and there's certain reasons that it would alert. So missing persons is one, stolen vehicles, wanted persons, people on probation, a number of reasons. So as long as those were all toggled on, the officer would receive that alert.
All right. Okay. And in the city of Warren, are you familiar with? And I mean, do they look at what are the most common Flock reasons that a Flock will alert to a vehicle?
I'm not sure I understand.
Okay. Well, because you listed a lot of different things. You know, stolen vehicles. You know, if there's an abduction or probation violator or a warrant, things of that nature. Correct?
Sure.
Okay. When looking at your Flock system in Warren, are you able to see and tell which of those areas receives the most type of Flock hits or alerts?
Yeah, I suppose that would be possible.
Okay. All right. Do you know what they are at this point?
I don't.
Okay. All right. Very good. When so once that alert is sent, you said within 3 to 10 seconds. Where is it? You said it's sent to each computer if they're logged in and toggled to those things, correct?
Yeah, any user that is currently logged in.
All right. And does it go to anyone else besides the officers in their cars that have that set?
It goes to the dispatch center.
Okay. Do all of the stolen vehicles get sent to the dispatch center?
NCIC wanted vehicles would go to the dispatch center, yes.
All right. All right. So at that point, when it gets sent to the dispatch center, and is that sent to the dispatch center within that 3 to 10 second time frame as well?
Yes, and we're assuming ideal circumstances such as a good internet connectivity at the camera where it was able to offload the image, and then good internet connectivity back down to the MDT, the cell phone, the dispatch center. But
All
yes.
right. Okay. And so once the dispatch, well, when it gets sent to the dispatch, how does the dispatch become aware of the Flock alert?
It makes an audible tone
Okay.
on their computer that they're monitoring Flock on, and then it brings that image up in their alert list.
All right. Obviously, I think our dispatchers, are you familiar with kind of their jobs? Do you deal with them and the technology that they use as well?
Yes.
All right. And so are they doing oftentimes multiple things at a time?
Often, yes.
All right. And so when they receive a flock hit, is it their job to attend to that flock hit immediately?
It's their job to attend to the flock hit in the order of priority of whatever is going on in the dispatch center at that time.
Okay. And so when a flock hit's received by dispatch, it depends on the order of priority as to when they get to it and deal with it and dispatch it out to the officers?
Yeah, sure. If there's something of higher priority, of something of life safety, they may be focusing on that first.
Sure. Okay. All right. So I want to kind of shift then to the flock hit within the police vehicle. When an officer gets a flock hit notification on the computer, how are they notified?
The exact same way as the dispatcher. The instance looks exactly the same. If you're logged in on the web browser from the computer in the car, it looks exactly the same. If they're logged into the Flock app on their phone, it looks a little different, but the functionality is similar.
Okay, very good. And so then at that point, once the officers in the vehicles receive the alert, is there any type of policy or protocol for how officers are supposed to respond when they get a flock hit initially?
If the officer is available and in service, we would expect them to take action on the flock hit.
Right, sure, okay. And that would be whatever action was appropriate pertaining to that flock hit, I would assume.
Yes.
Okay. And so one second. Let me get my train of thought here. So after an officer receives the flock hit, are they then able to go into that system and gather more information about the substance of that hit?
Yes, there is an amount of basic information that comes with it. You get the date, time, location of the scan. You get a photograph of the license plate that was scanned, a photograph of the vehicle in a wider perspective, and then Flock tells you the license plate number that it read and the predicted state of that license plate and the reason for the hit. That is all arrives with the alert.
All right. And do they receive from that information, are they able to determine which direction that vehicle is going from the location where the photograph is taken?
Yes, the direction of the camera is listed on the alert, so they could predict which direction it was going.
Right. So obviously, if a camera is pointed southbound, in the southbound direction, if they're able to get a picture of a license plate, that vehicle must be going southbound.
Yes, unless it made a turn. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And these particular Flock cameras, are they positioned generally at intersections, or are they just at intersections?
No, they're not just at intersections.
Okay. All right. When you sorry, I'm sorry. One second. Okay, I think let me turn to the body-worn camera system. That's also a system that, as part of your job, you are responsible for?
Yes.
All right. The body-worn camera system, can you explain for the jury how is a body-worn camera activated?
Sure. So we use a company called Axon for our body-worn cameras and our in-car video. We describe it as an ecosystem of devices because they work well together. The body-worn camera is worn on the torso of the officer facing forward, and that body-worn camera is activated in a number of ways. The easiest, most straightforward way is there is a big button on the front of it. If you press it twice, it turns on. If you press and hold it, it turns off.
Okay. And so with that, the officer has the power to turn that camera on and off?
Yes.
All right. Does that body-worn camera system, is it just video or does it include audio as well?
Both.
Okay. When it is activated by the officer, you said pushing the button twice, does that automatically activate both the video and the audio?
Yes, it does. At the moment of activation, if it were a manual activation where they would press the button twice, at that moment you would have video and audio. Our body cameras are also configured to do what's called a 30-second buffer video. So at the moment of activation, there's also a 30-second loop of video previous to that activation that is video without audio that is attached to that video file to provide context as to why it was activated.
Okay. All right. And that buffer video, how does the technology work that buffer, you're able to go back in time basically and get that buffer video?
So the camera is recording that 30-second loop all the time. Whenever it's powered on, it's recording that 30-second loop of video.
Okay. All right. And so when an officer activates that body cam, are they able to mute that camera as well?
Yes.
Okay. And how would an officer do that?
On the current generation of cameras, there are a number of buttons on the one side of the camera. They all do different things, but one of them, if you press and hold it and continue to hold it, it will mute the camera until that button is released. So if the officer is hands off of the camera, they are recording audio. If they're hands onto the camera, pressing and holding that button, they could be muted.
All right. And so an officer would have to, I guess, reach around and put their hand kind of around the camera to hold that button?
They could, as long as they're pressing the button on the side,
Okay.
it works.
All right. And after, well, let me ask you this. Other than an officer manually pushing the button twice to activate the camera, are there any other ways that the camera can be activated?
Yes.
How's that?
The camera can be activated by what's called a signal activation. Inside of our patrol vehicles, there is a little clear box that sits in conjunction with the in-car video system. If the patrol vehicle lights are activated to position 2 or 3, so we have a 3-position switch in the car. Position 1 is lights on the rear of the car. Position 2 is all lights, and position 3 is a more attention-grabbing flash pattern on the light bar. If you're in position 2 or 3, your body camera activates with that signal activation that we talked about, and that is a 30-second signal that goes about 50 feet away from the car, and it activates every body cam in proximity to that. In addition, if the officer hits the gun lock button inside of the car, it does the same thing, sends out that signal activation for 30 seconds about 50 feet away. And also with the activation of a taser, it activates all cameras within proximity.
Okay. All right. And once for instance, if a body-worn camera were to be activated by lights and sirens, you said at settings 2 or 3, would that camera remain on until the officer turns it off, or would it only remain on as long as the lights are on?
It remains on until that recording is terminated.
Okay. All right. Okay. I want to show you people's exhibit number 14. Claim people's 14. opportunity to see this video previously?
Yes.
Okay. And this particular body-worn camera video, were you able to determine how that body-worn cam was activated in this case?
Yes.
And how was that?
It was from the event button press.
Okay. So the event button had been pressed?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know, obviously from just the information that you have available to you, are you able to tell whether Officer Burke manually activated himself, or somehow that button was activated another way?
I don't know that.
You don't know that. Okay. All right. Now, when we started the video, you'll see the video was about, I stopped it at about 33 seconds. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. You said there was a buffer period. How long is that buffer period?
30 seconds.
All right. And during that buffer period, is there any sound that's recorded at that point?
No.
No. Only after the buffer period does the microphone kick in and start recording?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right, I want to talk a little bit about the in-car system, video system. The vehicle that Officer Burke was operating that particular night, was it equipped with that in-car system?
Yes.
Okay. And is that system the same in all of the Explorers?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell the jury, in terms of like the setup of what cameras you have and what you're able to record and video and things of that nature in that particular vehicle?
Sure. So the camera manufacturer for the in-car camera system is the same company, different product. It's Axon. The product is Fleet 3. So that comes with a windshield-mounted front-facing camera, as well as a rear seat-mounted camera for the prisoner area of the car. The cameras record to an independent DVR, like a hard drive in the trunk of the car, that is hardwired to the ignition and to certain things inside of the car that cause it to activate automatically.
Okay. All right. And is an officer able to activate that in-car camera system manually themselves?
Yes.
All right. And are there circumstances where that in-car camera will activate automatically?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell the jury what are those situations?
Similar to the body cam, it will activate if lights position 2 or 3. It will activate for a weapon lock press. It will also activate for a speed threshold activation where the patrol car is traveling a certain predetermined speed, and also for a collision detection.
Okay. And you indicated that at a certain speed, those cameras will automatically turn on?
That's correct.
Okay. And back at the time of this case, back on September 30th of 2024, what was that speed threshold?
90 miles an hour.
Okay. And do you know why it was set at 90 miles per hour?
It was to prevent a bunch of activations on freeways.
Okay. So obviously it would activate a lot if the speed were set too low and you were traveling on the freeway, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so that was determined to be the threshold was 90 miles per hour?
Yeah, it's one of the reasons.
Okay. What other reasons?
I wasn't present for all the conversations as to why they set that speed, but that was one reason that was cited.
Okay. All right. Very good. Who else was involved in that process? Do you know of setting that threshold?
Police administration at the time, I think the ultimate decision came down to probably Bill Dwyer, former commissioner.
A former commissioner?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Now, that threshold speed, are officers aware of that threshold speed?
They are.
Okay. Now, Lieutenant, with regards to this case specifically, were you involved in trying to preserve evidence from this particular vehicle for
Yes.
this case?
Yes.
Okay, and what was your involvement? What did you do?
I traveled to the original scene and I removed the DVR system from the car.
Okay, so at the time of the crash on September 30th, you actually went to the scene yourself?
Yes, several hours after the incident, but yes, I was there.
All right, and the police vehicle was still present at the scene though, and that's when you did that?
Yes.
Okay, all right. When you say you cut out the DVR, the Axon DVR, what did you do with it at that point?
The way that the DVR is configured, it needs to be installed in a vehicle to upload. It uses the cellular modem in the car to upload video, so I do install it into a different police car.
Okay, so you reinstalled it in order to upload the videos from that system?
That's correct.
Okay. Were those videos then eventually provided to the Macomb County Sheriff's Office as part of this investigation?
Yes.
Thank you. Anything further?
Thank you.
Afternoon, Lieutenant.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mark Curtis. I represent Officer Burke. I don't think you and I have had the opportunity to meet except just now, out in the hallway, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. You said a lot of, when they asked you what your job description was, you said a lot of words that I was very impressed that you could say, like, get out, keep going with, okay? I get stumbled over that. So is your main, if I understand correctly, your main responsibility in the department is the technology that is used by officers and your department as law enforcement?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And that includes anything from the computers the dispatchers are using to the, do we still call them MDTs in the cruisers?
Yes.
And what does MDT stand for?
Mobile data terminal, mobile dispatch terminal.
And in the videos that the jury has seen in the cars, those are the computers that are kind of mounted in the center?
Yes.
Okay. And that's when we're saying computers are actually they're described as MDTs.
Correct.
Okay. Now, are those computers routinely checked and routinely made sure that they're syncing up with the service?
They are, so we own the equipment, and then Oakland County Clemens owns the configuration, but we handle the troubleshooting when in event of a problem. So if we're notified of a problem, we go and correct it. I wouldn't say that we necessarily do a regular maintenance on them. We do software updates and things of that nature, but there isn't a regular maintenance schedule to go down and check a computer on a time frame.
And how do those computers communicate with Central Dispatch or Clemens? Is that a cell network? Is it Wi-Fi? How does it communicate?
It's a cell network. There is a cradle point modem in the trunk of the car.
Okay. And those are just bounce off regular cell signals, correct?
Correct.
And those can drop just like anything else?
Sure.
Okay. But in a city as dense as yours, with your experience, you don't find that to happen very often, do you?
We typically have pretty strong cell coverage, but on occasion, of course, the MDTs do, for whatever reason, drop connectivity. It does happen.
Okay. And how long does it usually take for that connectivity to kick back up?
It varies. It can usually be up to minutes or as long as till somebody gets into the car and checks it. But typically, it's a pretty short outage.
Okay. And in regards to the computer, the usage, we've thrown a lot of acronyms out. There's LEAN, right, which is the Law Enforcement Information Network.
That's correct.
And NCIC, which is the National Criminal
Information.
Center, right?
Yes.
Okay. Those are both programs or databases that the officer can access from that computer?
Yes.
Okay. And then you said CLEMS. What is CLEMS?
Clemens is a records management suite that Now they're a separate authority, but at the time they were part of Oakland County government. It's how we write police reports, issue tickets, impounds, activity logs, jail management. It's how we keep our records in the police department.
And is there also on that computer system an ability to see what they're called CAD notes?
Yes.
What are CAD notes?
CAD notes, CAD refers to computer-aided dispatching. So when you call 911, you speak to a dispatcher, and then they send your complaint out to the road, they are typing up a CAD run. When they send that CAD run to a car and they assign a unit to that run, they get all the information that dispatcher inputted into CAD to their MDT.
Okay. So it isn't necessary that the officer is only getting his information from dispatch.
Correct.
Basically, if I understand correctly, in today's technology, is a dispatcher may actually dispatch them to a call, and then the officer is able to pull that call up, read what it is, without having any further radio communication with dispatch, correct?
Yes.
And they can actually communicate with dispatch and other units on that computer without using the radio.
They can, yes.
Wouldn't it be true that if you relayed all of this information via radio, that it would clog up the radio?
Yes. So in general, when a dispatcher will dispatch a run for service, you'll get the type of run, the address, and then the most pertinent information. They're typically not reading the entire thing. The officer would then reference the CAD notes to get further information.
It's actually, you actually want to keep the radio at the main channel, right? Because if I understand correctly, there's several law enforcement channels. We have the main channel, correct?
Correct.
And then there's usually a lean channel.
That's correct.
And the lean channel is used for officers who might be on traffic stops or suspects to have dispatch run them for wants or warrants without actually tying up the radio to do it. The main priority channel.
In a perfect world, that's how it would go. In practice, unless there's a lot going on, most of that traffic goes over the main dispatch channel. Typically, we are using the lean channel as a secondary dispatch in the event of a major incident. Is in practice how it gets used.
Okay. But it's also, it'll go over, but they also can use their MDTs in order to check that information, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, let's talk about we're going to work backwards. Okay. We ended with body cams. Let's talk about body cams and cruiser videos, okay?
Okay.
Who is the company that manufactures the in-car camera systems that you use?
Axon.
Okay. And are they a major player in the law enforcement community in regards to video recording?
Yes, they are.
And they actually provide you subscribe to a service with them?
Yes.
Okay. And they provide you with evidence database to store stuff, to store videos, everything that you need to connect to these cameras and store them, they help provide, correct?
Yes.
Or they provide you at a cost?
Yes.
Okay. And are you familiar with the version of the fleet vehicle cameras that were being used on September 29th of 2024?
Yes.
Which version were you using?
The Fleet 3.
Okay. Which version of Fleet 3?
The software version?
Yes.
That I don't know.
Okay. There are multiple software updates that go into these cameras, correct?
They get regular firmware updates, yes.
It's like your Windows computer. There's software updates that continually change, correct?
That's correct.
So it's like my iPhone. I might have an iPhone 11, but I have an operating system of 28, correct?
Precisely, yes.
And they're working out bugs and they're changing stuff, and that's why they're always integrating it, correct?
Yes.
All right. The in-car video, where is that specifically mounted in the cruiser, in a Ford Explorer cruiser?
It's on the windshield. I couldn't be more specific than that.
Is it suction cupped to the windshield?
No, I use an adhesive.
Okay, so it's actually stuck to the windshield.
Yes.
Okay. And how high up is that mounted on the windshield?
Roughly near where the rear view mirror would be.
It's commonly placed behind the rear view mirror, correct, facing outwards?
Yeah, we normally put it on the far side of it, towards the passenger side, so you have access to the buttons on the back.
Okay, so it's actually on the passenger side?
Typically, yes.
Okay. Did you review Officer Burke's in-car video?
I did.
Where was that camera placed?
I would assume it's there. I don't specifically recall looking into the car, but that's where we do typically put them.
Okay, so you didn't verify where the camera was?
The actual placement of it?
Correct.
No, I don't believe I did.
Do you think it would be important to know that in regards to what may have been observed by the officers and where they may not have observed?
The camera captures a wide angle panorama through the windshield, You can tell in the video that it's facing forward out of the car.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. The camera is designed to record almost 180 degrees, correct?
Close to.
From pillar to pillar,
Correct.
correct? And what happens to an image when it is designed to capture, when it's the frame or to the image of what it's capturing when it's stretched that far?
I'm not sure I could say.
If I'm trying to, how familiar, you're familiar with body cams, correct? Or the body cams and the cameras, the
Yes.
fleet cameras, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do they catch let's focus on the in-car. Does it catch everything that an officer observes?
No, of course not.
Why not?
Because it's facing only forward.
Okay. And what are officers doing?
They're moving their heads back and forth.
Correct. Does it capture everything as an officer would see it necessarily in front of the cruiser?
No.
Okay. How far do you think it is? It doesn't show what an officer would see at distance, correct?
Correct.
Okay. What about at night? Would that make it even more difficult for the camera to be able to pick up?
It would certainly capture different than the human eye.
Okay. It's because if the videos we watch, lights blur and nighttime on those cameras, correct?
Correct.
The human eye, hopefully, people driving, don't have blurred vision and are able to see better than what that camera would show, wouldn't it?
In certain circumstances, yeah.
Okay. What circumstance would it not?
Guess I can't give a specific example.
Okay. There is a limitation to what a video camera can show you, correct?
Of course.
Okay. Now, in regards to the in-car, let's talk about the activations. Okay. The speed limit at the time of the target activation on September 29th was at 90 miles an hour, correct?
That's correct.
What's the speed limit on freeways in Michigan?
70.
And it was deemed, according to your information, that they needed to stop triggering it below 90 because you were getting too many activations of officers driving higher than 90 miles an hour on the highway?
I don't know if it was because of activations, but that was one of the reasons cited, yes.
Okay. So bringing it down, that 90, because you're driving 20 miles an hour over the speed limit on the highways and getting those activations, correct?
That was one of those arguments, yes.
Okay. Now, is that something, what's the limit at right now currently?
80 miles an hour.
Okay. How many activations do you get notified of every activation that's over 80 miles an hour?
No, we did for a time, but no, not any longer.
Okay. You used to for a time?
Yes.
How long did that occur?
From October 2024 until recently.
Okay. So recently you've stopped, what's the number at now?
It's still at 80, but the notifications happen through a different system.
Okay. But you were getting a flood of notifications that your officers were driving over 80 miles an hour on a routine basis and getting that trigger that you actually deactivated those notifications?
We transferred them to a different system that does the activation in a different way.
Okay. There were so many that you had to do that.
There were a lot.
Okay. So it's almost fair to say it's routine that your officers are driving over 80 miles an hour on a routine, if not daily basis.
The activation, the emails did happen on a daily basis, yes.
And that would list, like you get an email, would it be separate email for every single one, or just, hey, on this 24-hour period you had this many?
It would be for everyone,
Okay, so you're flooding your inbox.
yes. It's not, I don't believe it was an email, it was it was called a respond notification. It would notify the watch commander.
Okay, so now we've shut that off so the watch commander isn't getting those notifications the entire time through their shifts?
So it was a really broad notification that you couldn't narrow down. So now Patrol Administration gets those notifications.
Okay. Now, when the vehicle exceeds 90 miles an hour, is this Bluetooth technology that's inside the car?
It's a combination of Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, yes.
And the cameras are supposed to, if I understand the process properly, is that any event, let's just use the in-car camera. If the car exceeds the 90 mile an hour speed limit, anybody that's inside that car that has a active body cam, their body cam should automatically turn on, correct?
Not on a speed activation, no.
Okay. Explain that. Why is that?
The way that Axon has the device configured, speed activations and collision activations do not send the signal alert to activate all devices. It does just the in-car camera systems.
Okay. So it's not as if, let's talk about September 24th of 2000, or September 30th of 2024. Is if Officer Burke has on his body cam, and it is on, but it's in standby mode. That's what we call it, correct? A standby?
Buffer, yeah, but similar.
It's standby. As
Yes.
far as Officer Burke's concerned, it's not recording anything except that buffer, correct?
Correct.
But it's constantly recording in 30-second loops until it's activated.
That's correct.
Does your department record constantly, or does it do the 30-second buffer dump?
On the body cam?
Correct.
On the body cam, it's the 30-second buffer dump.
Okay. Now, so his body cam might be active, but it doesn't mean that he shut it off if the in-car camera turns on, correct?
For a speed activation, the in-car camera would turn on. It would not activate the body cam.
Okay.
That's correct.
So the video that Mr. Newman showed you of his body cam turning on at the time of the collision, that's not something that he would have known. Let me think how I want to phrase this question. It's not as if he turned his camera off after the in-car camera turned it on.
No.
It would have activated because of the collision or something hitting it, correct?
In this case, the audit trail from the body cam shows that the event button was pressed.
Okay. So something in the car hit his camera, hit him in the body cam.
The button was pressed.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So whether he did it, the car did, anything, something hit that button and it goes off, correct?
Correct.
And isn't it true that sometimes that button gets hit and shuts them off?
Yes, that is a little different now also. If
Okay.
you'd like me to explain.
Yes.
So the
Hold on. Is it different since Officer Burke's incident, or is it different now?
different, it would have been active on his body cam at the time.
Okay, then go ahead.
So the action on body 4 with that new camera, if the event button is pressed more than twice, and this is a setting that we've set as the Warren Police Department, you hit the button twice to activate the camera. If you hit it more than twice, there is at least the assumption that it could be because of an accidental contact with the body cam. So to avoid a inadvertent and unwanted termination of the video, the body cam requires that you press a button on the side of the camera as well to confirm a video termination.
Okay. So pushing on the front isn't just pushing your single finger, or pushing on that button on the front isn't going to deactivate that camera.
Yeah, if it's been pressed more than 2 times after the activation, it's going to require you to press a button on the side of the camera as well to terminate the video.
Okay. So that's not something it's a conscious thought that you have to do in order to make that operate, correct?
Yes.
Now, the cruiser video, do you know the frame rate that it records at?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I could research it for you.
Okay. But there is a difference in how it doesn't record in real time. Do you know what bad question on my part? It doesn't record every millisecond of information, correct?
I would imagine not.
Okay. That's a lot of data that you would have to store.
Yes.
And isn't it true that the video tends to supplement in order to create that storage? Is that if the AI recognizes that this is the same image, that it'll just kind of buffer what it's recording and fill in space?
I can't say that definitively. No, I don't know exactly how that works. I just know that it records.
Okay. You just know that you turn it on, it records, and then you see it.
Yes.
But you do acknowledge that that doesn't record every single millisecond as it's going along, correct?
Yes.
And once again, what the officer is perceiving isn't being recorded by the in-car camera.
No, the person that would know the perception of the officer is the officer.
Now, let's talk about body cams.
Okay?
Does your department have a body-worn camera policy?
Yes.
Are you familiar with it?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the policy that was in effect on September 30th of 2024?
Yes.
On that date and time, was that policy in effect as you remember it?
I believe so, yes.
And does that policy, does officers required to wear their body cams and have them on at all times?
No.
Are there exceptions?
Yes.
What are those exceptions per policy?
The exceptions are the initial contact with a child abuse or sexual assault victim, if a supervisor directs you to, or inside of private areas of the station, they're permitted to take it off. If they're having private conversations or just casual contact with the public, they're not required to activate, things of that nature.
Okay. What if it's conversations between officers?
Private conversation in the car,
Private conversation in the car, private conversation outside the car?
that does not have to be recorded.
Okay. And if the body cam is active, does the policy allow them to mute the conversation so it's not recorded?
Under certain circumstances, yes.
Okay. Do you know those circumstances?
Tested me. Yes, I know most of them.
Okay. I'm not going to hold you to it
Sure.
because we don't have it right in front of us, but is one of those if you are having personal conversations between the two officers at that point in time?
If you're having a conversation away from the public between the two officers, you are permitted to mute that. We would call that a deliberative process conversation by the policy.
Okay. And did you review Officer Napoli's body cam?
No, I did not.
Napoli's? You did not?
No.
Okay. If two officers are standing by the rear of a cruiser after a critical incident and they're having a conversation, they would be allowed to mute that button to have that conversation, correct?
Yes, if they're away from the view of the public and they're not interacting with the public, by policy, they would be permitted to mute that conversation.
As soon as an individual officer is no longer engaged in his law enforcement duties, is there a requirement that he continue to wear that body cam?
Like you cleared the scene?
Like, let's use this hypothetical, or let's use this. Officer gets involved in a traffic accident, correct? Body cam's activated. He's then removed from that scene by other officers. Is he required to continue to have his body cam going after he's been removed from that scene?
No, he leaves the scene. He's no longer required.
Okay. So there's nothing wrong or unusual of having a body cam shut off after that point.
That's correct.
Now, the body cam, let's talk about that. We've had testimony that is there a certain place in your department that every officer must wear their body cam?
Needs to be on the front of their body, somewhere above the belt line between the shoulders.
Okay. But they get to choose where they put it, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Some of them have them right in the center of their chest,
Yes.
and I think we've seen some that have had them down on the side of their vest carriers.
Yes.
Okay. And does the position of that camera determine what is viewed by the officer?
Absolutely. Well, by the camera.
By the camera.
Yes.
But does it show what the officer is viewing?
No.
Why not?
Because the officer can turn their head side to side. The officer can look up and down. The body camera is strictly showing a forward perspective from the torso of the officer.
And let's talk about the audio recording of this camera. Do you know what version of the body-worn Axon camera you were using on September 30th of 2024?
We're using the Axon Body 4. I don't know the firmware version.
You knew my next question.
Sorry.
Okay. But it also required updates and everything of that nature, correct?
It receives them automatically, yes.
Do you know the frame rate of that operating system for that camera?
Judge, I'm going to object to the relevance.
Your Honor, my anticipation is that Mr. Newman he's already gone after one witness about him muting his body camera in regards to trying to cover up a conversation. I think it's very relevant for this jury to understand how body cams work and their policies that allow them when they can and cannot use their body cams.
Okay.
But the frame rate has nothing to do with
You are getting into something really technical. Is this?
I will move on. That's fine. The body cameras are required to be carried by the officers, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. If you're at the scene, let me rephrase the question. Do these body cams always activate when the signal is sent out by another body cam?
If they are in proximity to the car that activated it. So a body cam can't activate another body cam. But for example, if I'm standing near a car, it's not my car, the car activates everybody's Axon body cam, not just the ones assigned to that car, if that answers your question.
Yes.
Okay.
So everybody that's in that perimeter of that activation will turn on their body cam.
Yes, correct.
And do those officers then have to turn those off physically themselves, the body cams?
Yeah, they would record until deactivated.
So body cams are a tool for
Yes.
law enforcement.
Correct.
But they are not the end-all to be-all as to what an officer witnessed and what an officer perceived.
Certainly.
Same with the in-car videos, correct?
Correct.
Let's talk about the flock cameras. Flock has become a pretty good tool for law enforcement, correct?
Yes.
It's just your crime fighting, a bad word on my part, but your crime fighting abilities.
We have had enormous success with the flock cameras. Yes.
And is that in locating stolen vehicles,
Yes.
suspects of armed robberies?
Yes.
And the camera system that you're using on this flock system. What year is that?
Those are, I'm not sure exactly when we put them up, probably about 2022.
Okay. And you haven't updated the hardware?
So we pay Flock a subscription service, so they come out and they maintain the cameras, they replace them if necessary.
Okay. So you just subscribe to the service that they send you the notifications and allow the system, correct?
Yes, they're solely responsible for the hardware.
Okay. And if this is beyond your scope, feel free to tell me it's beyond your scope. No fault.
Sure.
But once a flock camera is put up, if it's on a 4-lane road, is it capturing, and it's facing southbound, is it capturing both lanes of that 4-lane road?
The information we receive from Flock is that it will capture 2 lanes of traffic.
And you said previously under examination by Mr. Newman that if there's an obstruction or something of that nature, it might not record everything that's on that, in that lane.
Sure.
Does it capture one or multiple cars at a time?
It can do multiple cars at a time as long as it can see them.
Okay. But that has to be able to see a license plate in order to do it?
Yes.
Okay. Is there, tell me the circumstances of when, and I think you covered them, the circumstances of when a flock camera might not pick up a plate.
If it can't see the car, if the car is obstructed by another object, if the camera, the battery died on the camera, camera's not functional.
Okay. What about weather?
Yes, heavy snow, heavy precipitation, that could happen.
Okay. If it's solar powered, correct?
Yes.
If you have a bunch of cloudy days like we have here in Michigan in September timeframe, that's going to affect the battery of the camera?
It can.
Okay. And does it if the battery dies, does the next day, if the sun comes out, it powers back up?
They didn't used to. I believe they have fixed that.
When?
As of when we first got them in 2022, when they would go dead, they would have to replace the entire unit. I don't think we've had that issue since at least 2023, 2024.
2024?
Yeah.
Okay. And is there how does it communicate with Flock, which relays it to you at dispatch?
Cellular modem on the camera.
Okay. So it is a cellular modem transmitting?
Yes.
Okay. And there could be problems with that transmission also, correct?
Yes, there can.
The second that a flock hit or the camera reads it, Flock determines that it's in the system, that it needs to send an alert. It sends the flock hit with the time that it took the picture in the direction of the camera, correct?
That's correct.
It doesn't take that 3 to 10 seconds that we talked about. It's not going to say, hey, this was taken at 44:56, but it took us 10 seconds to get it to you, correct?
It'll tell you the time that's elapsed since the actual scan. So you know when the scan took place, not when you received it, when the scan took place.
Okay. When the scan took place and where it was sent with direction.
Yes.
And does that information, then would you expect your officers to use their computers in order to verify the information that Flock has put out?
They are required to do that, yes.
They are required to verify, correct?
Yes, they are.
And they just can't go and make stops or go and pull something over without verifying the information they got from Flock, correct?
That's correct. It must be verified.
And does that mean that they have to put physical eyes on that vehicle?
No, not necessarily. It means they need to confirm that the plate that was given to them by Flock is still, in fact, a wanted plate. You have to run that through NCIC or lien.
Okay. And before they initiate a pursuit or initiate a traffic stop, they would want to verify that that plate and vehicle match exactly what the Flock was, correct?
That is correct.
And does your department allow your officers to try to catch up to those vehicles in order to verify that information?
Yes.
If there was a stolen vehicle with firearms, as a lieutenant in your department, you would expect your officers to do that, correct?
I would.
Nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Newman.
I don't have any follow-up. Thank you.
Thank you. You may sit down.
Thank you.
We'll take another short break.
All rise for the jury.